Good afternoon, children. So today are with the next concept of the complex numbers. This is my lecture 2 on that. So today we will learning a few topics. One is that complex or organic plane means how to plot graphically the complex numbers. Okay, complex number we have done. So now we want to plot this on the graph paper. Okay, graph paper or the squared paper. See, once I have taken here. So this is your coordinate axis. Okay, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis as usual, but here will be one difference. The y-axis will be taken as the imaginary axis. So I have written here yi. Okay, so this is your imaginary axis of y, and this will be as usual the real axis, because in a complex number, if you have seen the number, see, if it is 2 plus 3i, 2 is real and 3 is the imaginary part. So two axes is required. One is the imaginary axis, one is the real axis. So these are like that. Now if you want to plot the point 2 plus 3i, okay, here is the point 2 plus 3i. So 2 plus 3i means the ordered pair will be 2 comma 3. This uniquely means 2 plus 3i. Okay, so I have plotted 2 here, 3 here, this is 2 3, and this corresponds to the point 2 plus 3i. So this is called, basically this whole plane is called the Gaussian plane or the Argand plane or the complex plane, right? Argand plane, better you know Argand plane, complex plane. Okay, so everywhere now, suppose you have to plot point Q2 minus 3i. 2 minus 3i will be representing 2 comma 3 minus 3 will be representing 2 minus 3i. So we'll be plotting only 2 minus 3. So this is 2, this is minus 3, this is 2 minus 3i. Okay. Now, so next thing is the polar form of complex number. This is a new thing for you, the polar form. Actually, we are having many forms in the ongoing mathematics. So, but here you intend to use only the polar form for complex number. Nothing is there. So in fact, when we use in the Cartesian plane, we use x and y. Now will be polar form will be using r and theta here. This is theta here. So we'll use r and theta here. R will be measuring the length and theta will be measuring the angle. Okay. So now see, here I've drawn the figure. So this is all. This is your r. This is p r theta corresponding to the point x and y, whatever you want to plot here. So this is corresponding to x, y. This will be r theta here. Okay. So in physics you would have done the okay, leave it. And now by trigonometry we can do this is a theta. So by trigonometry this will be r cos theta and this will be r sin theta. Okay. So we have, okay, so this is r cos theta, this is r sin theta. Okay, and since r is the length, so it always written 0. Okay, so here I have written all the things. Now x is equal to r cos theta, y is equal to r sin theta, as it is visible from here. This part will be r cos theta and r sin theta. This will be the portion r sin theta, right? Now squaring and adding both 1 and 2, we'll get x square y square this. So x square y square is equal to r square and r is equal to this. And this we have done earlier as the modulus of the complex number. So this is equal to modulus of the complex number z. Okay. Then again, if you divide 2 by 1, we get tan theta is equal to y by x. Okay. This is the other form of this. Now z is equal to x plus iy. So we know that what is the value of x, what is the value of y. Putting it here, we get z is equal to r cos theta plus I sin theta, and this is known as the polar form of the complex number. This is the polar form of complex number. Okay, and theta is called, theta is called argument or amplitude, okay, written as argument z, means argument will write argument z, or amplitude will write amplitude amp z, okay. The value theta is such that it lies from minus pi theta to plus pi. It's called the principal argument of z. Then the principal argument will be learning in the coming classes in trigonometry, okay. So don't worry, don't be panicked. It has nothing to do with here, okay. Now see, locating theta in the Argand plane. So we know in the in a Argand plane or in your Cartesian plane, you move from 0 to 360 degree. So how will you locate the value of theta here? Now see, suppose the first angle theta is equal to alpha here, okay. Means that in the first quadrant it will be alpha only. Now if you move to the second quadrant, since this is a straight line, so this total will be pi, that is 180 degree, okay. Means pi is equal to 180 degree, okay. So this will be 180 minus alpha, that is pi minus alpha, okay. So now if you move from here to here, okay, so if we move anti-clockwise, the angles are always taken positive, and if we move the clockwise, the angles are taken negative. So this will be minus alpha, okay, and similarly this will be minus pi minus alpha, that is equal to alpha minus pi, okay. So these are the values you will take for theta if the quadrant is known. I have written all here. Now see, one question, it will be all clear to you. Represent minus 1 plus I root 3 in polar form. So z is equal to minus 1 plus I root 3, that is minus 1 and root 3 lies in second quadrant, okay. So this x will be minus and this will be plus. So minus 1 and 3 lies in the second quadrant. So comparing from z is equal to r cos theta sin theta, we have r cos theta sin theta. R cos theta is equal to minus 1, r sin theta is equal to root 3. Squaring adding, we get r square equals to 4, and r will be taken as 2, not minus 2, okay, because r is always greater than 0, right. I have written it, okay. So cos theta is equal to minus half, sin theta is equal to root 3 by 2. Tan theta is sin upon cos, so that is root 3 by 2, 1 by 2, that is minus root 3. Now, here what we do, I have explained all here. Whenever there is a problem, you take tan alpha is equal to modulus of tan theta. This will correct all your problems, and the angles I have explained already here. This you have to remember. So, I have taken tan alpha is equal to modulus of tan theta, and tan theta was minus root 3. So its modulus will be positive, so it is root 3. So tan alpha is equal to root 3 means tan alpha is equal to tan pi by 3. Children, pi I told already to you. This is 180 degree, okay. So this is 180 by 3 means 60 degree. That's the root 3 value. So alpha will be equal to pi by 3. So z lies in the second quadrant, so theta will be pi minus alpha. See here, in the second quadrant, theta is equal to pi minus alpha, okay. So I have done theta is equal to pi minus alpha. This is pi, alpha was pi by 3. This is 2 by 3, 2 pi by 3, and now the complex number is z is equal to 2 cos theta, this is 2 pi by 3, I sin theta, this is 2 pi by 3, okay. Okay, next question. Represent 1 plus I in the polar form. So here z is equal to 1 plus I. So r cos theta sin theta will be equal to 1 plus I. Comparing this, squaring adding, r is equal to root 2, tan theta will be 1. Tan alpha is equal to mod of tan theta is equal to 1. Okay. Alpha is equal to pi by 4. Right. Then this is the case of first quadrant, so we not to do anything because theta will be equal to alpha only, right? I have 4. So, okay, now, so z will be equal to, this is r cos theta sin theta, this is r, this is theta, theta here. So this is the required solution. Now, the second one is, next question, z is equal to x plus iy, and this is omega, not w, is equal to 1 minus iz upon z minus I, such that, such that omega is equal to 1, then z is purely real. So here you have to prove that z is purely real. Okay, children. Now see, it is given modulus of omega is equal to 1. So this is modulus, this is omega, this is equal to 1. And by the property of modulus, we know modulus here equal to 1. So modulus here is equal to modulus this. Now I have put the value of x plus z is equal to x plus iy here. So now arranging them into the complex form a plus ib. So we got here. And now we know that a modulus of any number is equal to the square of real number plus the square of imaginary number. So this is a square of real number, real, imaginary, squaring both sides, cancel it out. So you get y is equal to 0. So children, y is equal to 0 means in z is equal to x plus iy, y is equal to 0. That means imaginary part is absent. So only the real part is present over there. Okay. So y is equal to 0, z is equal to x, which is purely real. Right. Now the next question is if x plus iy 1 upon 3 power is equal to a plus ib, prove that x upon a, y upon b is equal to this. Now see, x plus iy will be equal to a plus ib cube. So I have opened the cube and I have solved all I square, I cube, etc. So we are coming up to here, x plus iy, we are left with these things. Okay. Now comparing the real and imaginary part. Okay. These are two complex numbers, they are equal. So comparing real and imaginary part, x is equal to this, y is equal to this. Now since we want to get the value of x upon a, y upon b, so this is x upon a, y upon b. So this is equal to this one. Okay. Now next question is if x plus iy is equal to a plus ib, this prove that x square y square is equal to 1. Now since this is given, so I'm taking conjugate of both sides. So this will be as usual conjugate x minus iy, and this will be the conjugate of this upon conjugate of this by property. So this is a minus property, you know or not? Means I have told you already, z1 upon z2 whole conjugate will be equal to z1 upon z2 like this. So see, I have done the conjugate of this here, conjugate of this here like this. So we got x minus iy is equal to this. Now multiplying the two, x plus iy, x minus iy is equal to this into this. See, these all are cancelled here. So you are left with 1, and this is x square minus I square y square, since I square is equal to minus 1. Okay, so we get x square plus y square is equal to 1. Okay, so this was the second last part. One part is left now. So I'm sending the sheet to you. Please do it and verify. If you have any problem, just call me up, okay, or leave the message in the WhatsApp group. Thank you.